Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Today, we're going to talk about AWACS. Yeah, those wonderful, funny planes with the big, weird stuff sticking out of them. Okay, Ukraine has had 2 AWACS aircraft delivered. That was about 6 months ago, I think. They did not have any before this, which meant that they were basically stuck with getting targeting information from Western sources. And let's face it, they didn't really have any control over what was going on or what information they were getting. Then they got the 2 AWACS planes, which are SAB Global Eyes. These are really nice planes. Crucially, they're a lot smaller than the big boys, which means, for one thing, it's a heck of a lot easier to hide them on your airstrips. They use less fuel and a bunch of things like that. I mean, really, you don't need the range that the big American AWACS or the big Russian AWACS have. Ukraine just isn't large enough. The important thing here is that now they can do their own targeting. And they've had 6 months worth of time to learn AWACS operation inside out. This means that we should probably see Russian aircraft starting to drop out of the sky with alarming regularity. The trick is that with the equipment that they already have, they have limited abilities to control things because they can't see what's going on, or that's the equipment they had. With the new ones, you're going to be able to, if you're flying around, say 30,000 feet, see well across the border and into the other side's territory. And when I say see, you're going to be able to see low down, where a ground-based radar wouldn't be able to see because of ground clutter. Right now, Ukraine has airplanes with missiles better than their bloody radars. This is a major issue. Basically, they can't get close enough to fire the damn things using their onboard radar. They have to use the AWACS as their aiming point. The other thing is that the AWACS is quite capable of passing targeting data to SAM sites. And the way the system is set up with the Patriot and NASAMS, you don't have to have the launcher, the radar, and the control station at the same point. You can have them at 3 different points. As a matter of fact, you can have them at 3 different points tens of kilometers apart. Or if you provide the connections, even hundreds of kilometers apart, in theory. So what do? Well, if you're Ukraine, you start looking at things and going, wow, we can see these guys now. Yeah. So you maybe pick an area where they're running a lot of glide bomb attacks. And you run a Patriot or NASAMS launcher up into that area, but leave the radar and the control station back in Kyiv, say. The AWACS plane turns around and says, "Oh, we see a target." And the NASAMS launcher gets a message from its control station saying, "Fire a missile in this direction with these approximate coordinates, looking for this sort of a target." Yeah, you get the message. All of a sudden, you've got the missile in a close enough range that it can use its radar for the final lock-on, which you couldn't be able to do if you were trying to use a ground-based radar, because the ground-based radar can't see over the ground clutter. These AWACS are, if they're based on what I'm seeing, let me explain. I've been watching the shoot downs and stuff, expecting them to start picking up, and I think they now are. And not just picking up as the way of shoot downs, but also because the AWACS can see where things are landing. Several of the Ukrainian attacks on air bases where airplanes, or whether fixed or rotary aviation, were based makes me think that they saw the plane land and they had assets close enough by to hit it. Or maybe they checked and, oh, they're using this airport a lot. We can have fun with this. Yeah, so they started having fun. You notice the Antonovs that got killed down in Crimea. That may be a case of the AWACS spotting them landing. The point is, the Russians have been trying to do this to Ukrainians the entire time. They've had their Beryovs up there, the A-50 mainstay AWACS, circling whenever they can, looking for where the Ukrainian planes are landing. Because if you know where it lands, you've got an option to drop some missiles on it, hopefully. Thing is, with missiles, you don't necessarily have great control. With drones, you do. So for something like the attack that took out the Antonov transports, that was, you know, basically they knew where, as I said, I think they knew where these things were staying, and they sent an attack in. They didn't waste missiles on them because they aren't worth that much. The Su-34 they shot down the other day, now that's worth a missile. For that matter, if the A-50s showed up, they'd be worth a missile too. Or the IL-70. There's one version of the IL-76 which has a sensor suite on it. Point being that having these AWACS is giving Ukraine eyes. They can see stuff they couldn't see before. It's going to allow them to make a lot of hits that they couldn't have made prior to this, because they'll be able to see things. And with the equipment that they've gotten so far, the equipment that they're supposedly getting, at least it's been promised, and the fact that there's a whole pile of equipment going there that we don't know about because a bunch of countries have gotten really quiet about what they're sending for some reason, I think that, yeah, we're going to see a lot more Russian planes falling out of the sky, and probably sooner than Vladimir would like it to be. Anyways, that's it for now, folks. Like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. You got something out of it, and have a good day.